Imagine a sweltering summer night in the New Mexico desert, on a certain day in July of 1947. The sky is pitch black with only a few stars faintly twinkling, and a hot wind carries the scent of dry earth. Suddenly, a thunderous roar echoes from afar, and strange metallic fragments rain down like a shower onto the middle of Farmer Mac Brazel's ranch. These fragments were unlike any material he had ever seen. They were as thin and light as paper, yet impossible to tear or burn, and they possessed a bizarre memory that allowed them to return to their original shape even when crumpled. This marked the beginning of the Roswell incident, which has kept millions of people worldwide awake for decades, and simultaneously the start of a long journey toward a mysterious element from outer space that could alter the fate of humanity at its core, namely element number 115. When we catch sight of a silver disk gliding silently through the sky, the first question that springs to mind is surely where it came from and who might be piloting it. However, today let us pause and examine the flying craft itself more closely. How can it travel at speeds beyond imagination, vanishing in the blink of an eye only to reappear hundreds of kilometers away? How does it hover in the air without wings, propellers, or jet engines? The answer lies in the material that constructs this flying craft, a supermaterial capable of bending the spacetime around it, something that does not exist on Earth. If humanity could fully comprehend and replicate this material, we would no longer be mere small beings tethered to our blue planet but true citizens of the vast cosmos, freely traversing its expanse. At the heart of all this stands a key unlocked by one man who risked his life to reveal the truth, Bob Lazar, who spoke of element 115. Let us return to July 8 of 1947. The United States Army issued an official announcement that stunned the nation. The Army had recovered a flying disc. Yet within less than a day, they hastily retracted it, claiming it was merely a malfunctioning weather balloon for meteorological observations. But the truth would not be buried so easily. More than 60 years later, in the year 2010, the Federal Bureau of Investigation released declassified documents from 1950, in which Special Agent Guy Hottel clearly noted that what was recovered in New Mexico was not one disc but three, and inside each disc were the remains of small beings clad in thin spacesuits with a metallic texture. These enigmatic remnants were soon transported to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio, vanishing completely into classified projects thereafter. Recent developments in the 2020s have reignited this mystery. For instance, in September of 2025, a nearly 22-minute video titled The Roswell Incident, long hidden in the National Archives, surfaced, reportedly containing authentic footage from the crash site, including debris and what some claim are glimpses of alien forms. This footage, combined with a bizarre memo from the era analyzed in June of 2025 by experts, suggests it could hold the key to unlocking secrets about the 4 alleged alien bodies, prompting renewed calls for full disclosure from congressional oversight committees. Following this, similar crash incidents persisted across the United States and around the world. In every case, the common discovery was fragments of ultra-durable metal that no tool could cut, burn, or destroy. Adding to the intrigue, a newly uncovered diary belonging to a United States intelligence officer, revealed in September of 2025, details eyewitness accounts of the recovery operation, describing the debris as lightweight yet indestructible, echoing Brazel's original report and fueling speculation that the balloon cover story was a deliberate misdirection to conceal advanced extraterrestrial technology. Then, on a certain evening in May of 1989, a thin-framed man wearing glasses appeared on television with his face concealed. He revealed himself as a physicist who had worked at Los Alamos National Laboratory developing atomic bombs, and his name was Bob Lazar. He exposed that he had labored at a top-secret facility known as S4, located dozens of kilometers south of the infamous Area 51 in the depths of the Nevada desert. Within hangars perfectly camouflaged into the mountainside there, 9 spacecraft of clearly non-earthly origin were stored, and he had been tasked with reverse engineering the propulsion system of one of them. In recent years, Lazar's story has gained fresh traction. A new documentary film titled S4, directed by Luigi Venditelli, is set for release later in 2025, featuring exclusive interviews where Lazar reiterates his claims and addresses skeptics. Additionally, in an October podcast with WON, Lazar delved into the alien fuel aspects of his experiences, emphasizing the propulsion mechanics he observed. Bob Lazar stated that the spacecraft contained no engines known to humanity. Instead, at the center of the disk's lower section was a miniature reactor the size of a basketball, which operated by inserting just 123 grams of a peculiar orange-tinged material each time. That material was element 115. When this element undergoes nuclear reactions within the reactor, it generates a powerful gravitational field that warps the spacetime surrounding the craft. Thus, the spacecraft could accelerate to tens of thousands of kilometers per hour in an instant, silently and without shockwaves, allowing occupants inside to feel no acceleration whatsoever. Lazar's revelations have been corroborated indirectly by ongoing scientific pursuits. As of November of 2024, researchers at institutions like the Joint Institute for Nuclear Research in Dubna have chemically characterized Moscovium, element 115, making it the heaviest element ever studied for its properties, revealing it to be more reactive than its neighbor flerovium, challenging previous assumptions about superheavy element behavior. Astonishingly, when Bob Lazar shared this story in 1989, the official periodic table only extended to element 109, with element 115 listed as a provisional placeholder under the temporary symbol unpension. Many dismissed him as a fraud, but precisely 14 years later, on August 11 of 2003, scientists from Russia and the United States collaborating at the Joint Institute for Nuclear Research in Dubna conducted an experiment colliding calcium-48 ions with an americium-240 target. In that instant, a superheavy element was detected for an extremely brief period, and by 2016, it was officially named Moscovium, with the symbol MC and atomic number 115, exactly as Lazar had predicted nearly 30 years earlier. Advancing this further, speculative studies in October of 2025, such as those exploring element 115 pulses in theoretical dual-sheet models, suggest potential applications in relativistic chemistry for novel materials, while volatility analyses hint at pathways to more stable isotopes, bridging Lazar's claims with cutting-edge theoretical physics. To date, the isotopes of Moscovium produced in laboratories decay in less than a hundredth of a second, but theoretical physicists predict that in the region known as the Island of Stability, isotopes like Moscovium-329 could remain stable for seconds, minutes, or even thousands of years. Bob Lazar claimed that what he observed at S4 were precisely such stabilized isotopes, meticulously machined into triangular fuel elements. Recent progress bolsters this optimism. In January of 2025, experiments at the GSI Helmholtz Center for Heavy Ion Research revealed the shoreline of the Island of Stability more precisely, identifying enhanced stability in superheavy nuclides near Borgium, element 106, with a new isotope discovered in June of that year expanding the known boundaries. Furthermore, a novel synthesis method reported in April of 2025 produced 2 atoms of livermorium, element 116, paving a route toward even heavier elements and potentially reaching the predicted stable core around elements 114 to 126. Bob Lazar described how, during tests, the reactor's activation caused the surrounding space to vibrate, a pale purple light emanating from the craft's underside as it levitated without any visible supports. At that moment, he realized it was not flying in the conventional sense but manipulating gravity to fall in any desired direction. This concept aligns eerily with modern observations. In September of 2025, during a congressional UFO hearing, footage was presented showing a missile launched toward a mysterious orb-shaped object, reminiscent of defensive responses to unidentified aerial phenomena. This narrative extends beyond the United States. During the same era, similar events occurred in the former Soviet Union. In 1948, at the Kapustin Yar rocket testing site near the Caspian Sea, a cigar-shaped flying object tens of meters long was shot down. In 1977, General Ivan Tretyakov and Mi-21 fighter pilots pursued a massive glowing sphere that changed colors, maintaining exactly 10 kilometers distance multiple times but evading capture. These records have been partially declassified in recent years, adding to the global tapestry of encounters. In 2017, a video captured by United States Navy pilot Commander David Fravor was released, depicting the Tic Tac object, a 14-meter-long pill-shaped craft that plunged from 18,000 meters altitude to near sea level in less than a second before hovering motionless in the air. This matches precisely the movements Lazar described for the S4 craft. Updates in 2025 have amplified these accounts. In April, journalist Jeremy Corbell released new military footage of a similar unidentified flying object near California, described as tic-tac-like in shape and behavior. An active-duty Navy chief testified in September about witnessing 4 such objects off the coast, using radar data to convince skeptical colleagues of their reality, likening it to checkmate in a game of evidence. Additionally, in a September testimony before the House Oversight Committee, investigative journalist George Knapp, who has interviewed Lazar extensively, affirmed that these phenomena are real and not fictitious, drawing parallels to historical cases like Roswell. From the Roswell remnants, Bob Lazar's testimony, the success of the Dubner experiments, official United States Navy videos, and the island of stability theory, all pieces point in one direction. Humanity stands on the precipice of its greatest leap in history. Should we achieve mass production of stable element 115, it would unlock infinite clean energy, genuine anti-gravity technology, spacecraft reaching Mars in mere days, and even interstellar travel. As of late 2025, facilities like CERN and Dubner continue refining synthesis techniques, with no major breakthroughs yet but steady progress toward the island's core, where stable superheavies could revolutionize propulsion and materials science. This is no longer mere science fiction. It unfolds quietly in hidden deep Earth laboratories as reality. And it all traces back to that day in July of 1947, when a farmer in the New Mexico desert picked up indestructible metallic fragments, made possible by the courage of one physicist who staked his life on the truth. The journey toward element 115 transcends simple scientific inquiry. It embodies humanity's hope that we are not alone, our longing for the stars, and the grand epic of our species dreaming of one day properly grasping the key the cosmos has offered us. That day draws near. Soon, we too shall board silent spacecraft, departing our blue Earth for the galaxy's far reaches. Then we will realize it all began on that hot desert night, with the immortal metallic fragments, and the gift left by starborn brethren, element 115.